Yay Media Group.
Why don't guys, like when they have like a little bald spot, why don't they get it tattooed?
Ooh, that would hurt on your head.
But then what if you lose all your hair? Then you have like a tattoo. That I already answered my question. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why don't women do that? Like women's hair goes thin, right?
I wear hair extensions because I have no hair.
What if you tattooed under there? Your head. How come that's not a thing?
Hey guys, episode 255. We are back, refreshed from our trip. Jeff had a good Father's Day. Did you have a good Father's Day?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, you got to spend it with your dad. I was driving back from Shawneetown. I got back to Chicago around like 4 o'clock, and then y'all grilled.
Yeah, we grilled up. I took the kids. It was raining in Chicago, so I took them to the main event.
I hate that place.
I know.
It's almost like the playgrounds. Like I don't even want to see a playground because I've been so many times.
No, it's all right. I mean, it's about spending with the kids. And then I want to give my dad a little break because it's a lot for him.
He's not used to it.
Right. So I just took them out for a little bit. And then my brother and his family came over, grilled the day before. We had my niece's graduation. So I got to see some of my friends, some old, my friends, but they're my brother's college friends. So they all listen to the podcast, a lot of them. So they were asking me questions. So thanks for listening. That's cool. I love when I meet people that are like, oh yeah, you talked about this on your podcast. I'm like, you listen to the podcast?
That's the best feeling when you're shocked that somebody listens to the podcast. And it's like, you listen? I didn't know you listened. You know, sometimes people will be like, oh, I don't listen. And you're just like, okay, bitch, keep going.
Man, you talking to someone specific?
No, maybe.
But yeah, it was a good, I'm glad I went back for Father's Day because I missed the fishing trip that we go on every year and we haven't gone for a couple of years. So I felt bad about that. But, you know, life happens.
Yes.
Life goes fast. But then you got to take advantage of those moments.
I had the best time in Southern Illinois. Did not do anything. Hung out with my grandparents. My grandma could use some prayers right now and for healing. And it was just nice to sit and talk with them and just not have the boys around and actually get to visit. Normally, if my mom's here, it's because she's watching the kids for us so we could go away somewhere. And I don't really feel like I get to visit with her. Normally, she's like, I need you to color my hair. And we have like a routine of how we do things. So it was nice to be able to sit. My grandma was very happy. My cousin Tori was there. Blake was there. I haven't seen my cousin Blake since he graduated high school. He's 29 now. So it was nice because when you don't go home for the holidays, which I don't, and getting to catch up and laugh and just be with family, it's really fun. I always love seeing my aunt. She makes me laugh. And yeah.
Yeah, it was a good tour. It was a good in and out, but yeah, I'm glad we did it. So
it's like a refresh. Sometimes you just, when you're here or if you're doing podcasts all the time or other things, you just get really like burned out with your everyday routine. And it's like whenever you go see family or you change it up a bit, you leave feeling like I left feeling happy and like feeling peaceful and just like
it's not
fulfilled.
weighing on you.
Yeah. And then it's almost sometimes I'm just like, I need to get back there. Like I need to hurry up and get back there. And I just, And my grandpa took me to this place. I felt like I was in Yellowstone because I've talked about this before. We're into Dutton Ranch and the place, great. There were ladies riding on riding on horses. And the place kind of reminded me like Yellowstone with the fire pit. And there was like a bar in there. And I was like, oh, I feel like I'm on Yellowstone right now.
Yeah, it's fun. I will rag on my dad for a little bit because we went shopping one day. I don't even know if I told you this. So we went shopping. We got like hot dogs and hamburger, whatever. We were cooking, for the barbecue. And my dad's like, I'm going to get some chips. I'm like, okay. And I was walking by the chips and I usually don't eat chips. I ate so many chips this weekend because I was on vacation and I could eat like a whole giant bag if I let myself. But once I eat one, it's over. So like chips and cheese are my kryptonite. So I was like, I walked by the chips on a different side. They're all over. And I love Lay's barbecue chips.
Oh, yeah,
they're like my kryptonite. But then I love dill pickle flavor, which I feel like dill pickle is kind of becoming the new pumpkin spice. They're overdoing it. Everything's becoming dill pickle. and I don't like it because I don't want it to get oversaturated.
The dill pickle, if I have too many, it gives me a stomach ache. It's just like when I have fried pickles. I can only have like 5 fried pickles and I can't eat anymore because I get like icky to my stomach.
Oh, I don't know why. I love fried pickles. I could drink pickle juice. I love pickles. I love it. So anyways, I was looking at it and I'm like, oh man, this was before I ate any chips. And I was like, oh man, I could eat all those chips. So I'm like, if he comes back with barbecue or dill pickle, then they had Mexican corn, like the Mexican corn flavor.
Oh, I like that.
I love Mexican corn. So all these amazing flavors that I never really pay attention to. And I was like, look at all these flavors that they have. They had like something, I don't know, they had all these crazy flavors. So anyways, my dad comes back and he has 4 bags of chips. They were all plain Lay's and then plain with ruffles.
That's me.
I was like, what are you doing? And he's like, what? I'm like, dude, there's all these flavors of chips. That's what you land on? And he's like, I don't like the other ones. I'm like, but they're for everybody. So I was kind of mad that he didn't get the flavors that I like, but I was like, okay, don't worry. Then this way I won't eat them, Mm-hmm. And then lo and behold, you have a couple drinks and the chips are just there and I just wolfed down.
They were good. I had some.
They still were good, but I was like, there's so many flavors of chips now.
Your dad's got my type of taste. I like plain.
There was nobody else complaining, just me.
Well, you always complain. So what's new?
I complain about weird things like that.
No, about,
But when you got dill, pickle, and all these amazing flavors, what do you know what? You're right. I
plain
do complain.
chips are good.
When we go like to get amazing gelato or whatever, 31 flavors, whatever these ice cream stores are, you get vanilla.
I do.
With sprinkles. Why don't you, there's a million flavors. Why don't you get something else?
Because I'm basic.
Have you tried pistachio?
No, I don't like pistachio.
There's a million things.
I normally do
Fruity,
vanilla or chocolate.
Sherbet, chocolate. There's
No, my thing is I will go, if I do go to gelato, which I like, it's way overpriced, but it's so good.
Hazelnut gelato is my jam.
I get a coffee, a latte, and then they have this fruit mousse cake. It's super tiny and it's got blueberries, strawberries, and it's just like a chocolate mousse. And I like that.
See, that's.
But ice cream will upset my stomach sometimes. I can only have it in very little moderation because I will get a stomach ache.
So pickles, ice cream, what else upsets your stomach?
Pickles don't upset my stomach. I like pickles. I just don't drink pickle juice out of a jar.
You said if you have 5 pickles, you get
fried pickles because they're fried. And then you dip them in ranch. My stomach will get like icky. I think a lot of people are like that.
I don't know.
Yeah, I've had other people be like, yeah, you can't eat too much of fried pickles. And another thing, I was talking to my family about this. Before I moved away from North Carolina, everything I drank was sweet tea, everything. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
Like from dating. I would stop by McAllister's and get a big jug of tea and I'd drink it at work when I worked at the hair salon. And they have that big old lemon and I love it. And I'd get a chocolate chip cookie. And their chocolate chip cookies are good because they're tender. And I cannot drink sweet tea anymore because I'm just not used to it. And that was one of the hardest things when I moved to LA that I deal with was no one had sweet tea. So then I would put Sweet and Low in it and I hated it. But then I got used to drinking it with Sweet and Low. And then when I went back home and I tried to drink, so I used to go to this place called Hickory Tavern and they had the best sweet tea. And I was like, oh, this is like a stomach ache. It just tastes like straight up sugar to me. And I wasn't used to it. Yeah. But like my mom's aunt, when we would go there, she used to make the best sweet tea. Like it was like on the front porch, sitting out in the sun.
Oh, like real tea that,
Yeah, and it was good. And she always had a cigarette. And she would sit at the kitchen table and just smoke one cigarette after another. And I remember she'd be like, you want sweet tea? And she always had the tea in a mason jar.
Oh, that makes it better.
Yeah. And it made it so good.
Anything in a mason jar is better.
And she had like those cubes, you have to break the ice tray.
Yeah. We still have some.
She would put those in.
Oh, the metal ones?
Just like old school, like you crack them.
The plastic?
Like the tray, yeah.
But remember the plastic ones, like or the metal ones with like the thing on top? Like the real old ones.
Oh, I don't know if it was that.
How do you make sweet teas? Just you dump a ton of sugar on in there, right?
But you got to have it just right. Like you can't, okay, people think if it's just, let's say you get tea and you go to a restaurant and then you put sugar in it. No, you can't do that. Like when you make the tea and it's hot and then you pour it, then you got to dump your sugar in and stir it. And then you have to test it to make sure it tastes good. My mom used to make really good sweet tea.
It?
And then you ice it.
But if you ice it first and then put sugar in it, it's not sweet tea?
It's not sweet tea. The sugar just goes straight to the bottom and it's not even good.
Oh, all right. There's a method to the madness.
Yeah. Or you set it outside like the old school type of tea, and that was good. But my mom used to make the best sweet tea, and she'd just have a big jar, and I remember kids in the neighborhood would just come and pour tea. I don't even know why we're talking about this, but this is just something.
Comfort food.
Yeah. You know what I just saw? I was just telling you and Riley, I was looking at my phone while you were setting everything up, and it was on TMZ. And the only reason I'm sharing this is because we were just there. That Tatiana's Bayou in Disney, a 13-year-old fell down that big water slide that we went down. He got out of the boat.
Oh, well, he didn't fall out. He got out. It's his fault.
And then fell down the water. Fell down. I don't know how many feet it was. I'm trying to find the video right now. But why would you do that?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Like people just look.
He did it for the gram.
Have you see this? Look.
Okay.
You see that? Hang on. Look at him.
Did he fall out or jump out?
I don't know. See, I don't know the whole story. I just saw it. This is what their terrifying new video shows. The moment a 13-year-old boy at Disneyland tumbled down a 50-foot waterfall after getting out of a moving ride. That's what it says. Yeah. But they said he wasn't hurt or anything.
He's got a story.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it.
You think he'll sue?
I don't think you can. I feel like Disney has their self covered. I mean, I'm sure people have tried.
I bet you he gets paid.
No. Why?
I'm not saying I'd pay him, but I'm saying, does Disney want all that? I don't know. I don't know how that gets resolved. I would say, you're an idiot. Get out of here and never come back. That's what I would say.
Oh, I'm sure he's going to be banned, right?
I mean, that's what I would think. But in today's age, everything's backwards anyway. So he's probably going to get paid something. That's just my guess. I'm just speculating. No. I didn't even read the story. I don't know what happened.
There's no way. I mean, I feel like at Disney have everything so consistent. He better be lucky that there wasn't another ride right after that log that went down and another one didn't hit him.
Or there's got to be like contraptions in there you get stuck on and stuff.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I don't know what happened, but yeah, I don't know. You're an idiot to me. Sorry, he's 13, but you got to learn somehow.
Well, it's just like those videos you see people on the interstate driving and they're hanging out the window, like standing on the car. It's like you're just asking for it.
That's definitely in Florida.
Why do you always say that?
Because the crazy videos come from Florida. Look, Florida. That was in Florida.
You know,
that was Disney World.
I told the boys that, okay, so they get scared of anacondas. And they're like, are there any anacondas here? And I was like, no. I was like, maybe in Florida there might be an anaconda. And we're going to Florida in August. And they were asking, they were like, there's not any anacondas that are going to get us when we go to Florida, right?
Well, we're not going to the Everglades.
I know, but it was just funny that they thought Florida, like where we're going, that there is going to be anacondas.
Yeah. And there's like that's a problem in the Everglades.
I think you were saying that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a big problem. They're like eating the other wildlife and they're taking over.
Well,
what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Have you been watching any World Cup?
No.
I've been into it.
Why?
I don't know. I'm not that into soccer, but then when World Cup comes around, I think it's really cool that, the whole world kind of gets invested in one thing and it's not bombing or attacking or what, you know what I mean? It's kind of brings the world together and what a popular sport it is. So I appreciate that. And it's every 4 years. It's the best players. So I don't know. I just kind of get into it. You know what I mean? I like it. I like that. And all the big stars are showing up, like the names that, like Messi, that name, right?
Oh, yeah.
He scored like 2 different games, 2 goals. Mbappe from France is putting on a show. Ronaldo scored 2 goals today. So like all the names that kids here even know, like they're putting on It's not they're putting on a show like WWF. They're just, you know, they're highlighting their skills and they're crushing it. So it's been a really cool World Cup, and the USA is doing real good.
Have we always been good? See, no. I don't follow soccer at all.
We haven't.
Didn't they pay like a ton of money to have Messi or Ronaldo or one of them to live
when they
here?
get kind of out of their prime, you know, like Beckham did, you know, then they'll get out of the European leagues or wherever they're at, you know, because they're getting paid over there like a lot.
Oh, for sure.
They're gods over there. But then they'll come here. So Messi's going into the end of his career. So now he joined the Miami team. But then he just came to Denver, and that's, I mean, it's popular, but it's not like football here or baseball, you know?
Yeah.
But when Messi came, they sold out the Broncos stadium because everyone just wanted to see Messi.
Somebody wrote me on Instagram and said, how does Jeff feel about the Bears going to Indiana?
Oh, how do you want to get into this?
But when was that?
They're trying.
Why are they getting out of Chicago?
Because Chicago's a mess. It's a mess the way they run that city now. It's a mess. So they knocked down there was a racetrack that I used to go to growing up, a horse track, and it's called Arlington Heights Racetrack, not too far from where I grew up. And they knocked that down because they were going to relocate the Bear Stadium to Arlington. Okay. That was kind of the plan.
Okay.
I don't know all the ins and outs, to be perfectly honest with you, but that fell through. Okay. I thought that was like locked in.
Okay.
Then they were going to modify the stadium. You know, and upgrade it. But they already did that. They kind of added on to the old Soldier Field and they did some modifications.
Okay.
But for whatever, like if you want the Super Bowl to come to your city, you got to have like a dome if you're in a cold weather state.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's got to be the taxes or something. They're not running that city the way they should. And I could be way off on this. So I didn't even give you a reason. But anyways, they're trying to locate to Indiana, right over the border. Mm-hmm. So now that's where all the talks.
Is it more like land and it's more, I would think
it's got to be money. I think it's only money.
Then wouldn't you if you were the Bears owner or whoever, who owns the stadium, the city?
No, I think the McCaskies owned it for a long time.
Wouldn't they lose like so much? Because then what are they going to do?
Yeah, because it's revenue for the city, and I don't know how all that works. I don't know. There's got to be a reason.
Like Bears people are loyal.
But if they move to India, I don't know if they'd still be the Chicago Bears. You know?
Oh, they would change the name.
I don't know. Oh. But I would be disappointed. I don't think it would happen anyway for a couple of years. Mm-hmm. But it looks like they are going to move to Chicago.
Would you be a change and be a Broncos fan?
I don't know. I'm not happy about it. I don't know why it's not like I live there anymore, but it disappoints me. It does. I like Soldier Field. You go there, the lake's there, it's cold. That's part of growing up in Chicago. You tailgate, you freeze your ass off. That's just part of it, you know? Mm-hmm. And if you move, the Indiana Bears? Like, no, I don't know.
That doesn't ring. Jeff's got some tailgating stories.
Oh, so many.
Yeah. Did you ever share when you waxed your eyebrows and you went to tailgate and like all your friends were?
Yeah, those were the days. my brother's like, why are you wearing a winter hat? It wasn't even that cold out. I was like, no reason. And then finally I had a couple of beers. I'm like, all right, I waxed my eyebrows. Everyone's like, oh my God. I didn't even go out that night.
I know.
Because she ruined my eyes.
Which had to be a hard thing for Jeff to stay at home.
Yeah, when you're in your 20s,
But they were like,
do you
have any photos?
I don't think it wasn't the days of camera phones or anything like that. I'm sure somebody's got one somewhere. But they did one and it hurt so, I was like crying.
No,
it hurt so, my eyes were so watery.
Why did you get them waxed?
It was right next to Steve's restaurant, known as Sylvia's. And they're like, dude, go in there. There's this new thing they just clean up your eyes. I didn't know what it was. It was like when it first started, like guys didn't even do that. And I was like, all right, let's go clean up my eyes. You know what I mean? And gave me straight like Mrs. Roper painted on eyebrows.
When I get my eyebrows tinted, Lawson and Leighton don't like it because the first week they're so dark, and Lawson's like, you don't look like yourself. When is that going away? And I will say I got my eyebrows microbladed, I don't know, 3 years ago maybe. I think, is one side of your face more sensitive than the other?
I don't know.
Have you ever noticed that? Like when you were getting it threaded? Did you notice, or was it painful?
The first one was really painful. My face, I think it's very sensitive because when I got that, well, I don't know if it's the pain or, but when I got that laser, I was in big time pain. Like I drove home with my face out the window.
I was like, if anything goes wrong with the healing process with this laser, I am going to be in so much trouble. I got Jeff a halo laser with this girl, Christina, who always did my lasers.
We shared.
I know. But when you leaned up, you were so swollen that I was like, OMG. But going back to my eyebrows, when she did it, she numbed me for like 45 minutes.
I don't know how women do all this stuff.
I think women have a different pain tolerance than men.
I think you're right.
I would love to see, I mean, I know it's impossible, but if a man could feel labor, what a woman feels.
I know. I think there's little things that you could do.
No, I wish like you could experience it, like coming out, like
listen, I get it. You win that battle.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like from high heels to doing your eyebrows, just like the day-to-day things. Women endure a lot more.
Yeah. I think women just have a higher pain tolerance than men. All men do is just stick it in. That's all they do.
Wow.
And then the women has to do everything else.
Well, this isn't I'm just...
Stick it in for 5 minutes of pleasure.
I'm not disagreeing, or you win. You won.
Yes. Jeff's like, I'm not arguing with you. Okay, going back to my eyebrows. When she did one left side,
oh yeah, can't forget about that.
My eyes were watering so bad and it was hurting. I almost wanted to tell her to stop. And I was like, but now she did, and it's a blade. They take pigment and then they make little slashes in your eyebrows.
So it's like a tattoo.
Yeah.
Well, then what if that style goes out?
I was in the light and you were like, your eyebrows look red. It's because the tint has faded and it's faded into like a red color. So you have to keep it up. You have to continue to do it. The lady I went to is fantastic. I would never let anyone else but her do it. And she just was like, I don't understand why you're so sensitive. But then when she did my right side, I was like, okay, this isn't bad. So I don't know why, but I feel like certain things, like if I get injections and I'm getting Botox, I kind of feel a little sting more on this side than this side. And if I am on my period and I get a laser treatment, it hurts more when I get my base lasered. And I try to make sure I schedule my appointments when I'm not going to be on my period because it hurts a lot more. Isn't that weird?
Interesting.
Like maybe it's like your hormones and you're just like, my skin gets very sensitive.
So if you shaved your eyebrows right now with like a razor.
Ooh, I would look creepy.
Oh yeah, that looks super creepy. But would you have like little tattoos?
I probably would have that. I mean, you can't see the slashes. Those are
but
gone.
I'm saying if you did.
But yeah, there would probably be red. Yeah. And then you have to get it lasered. Somebody can take a laser and do it. But I fill in my eyebrows, so you'll never see it.
Well, I'm kind of going to answer my own question here. But I'm like, why don't guys, like when they have like a little bald spot, why don't they get it tattooed?
Ooh, that would hurt on your head.
But then what if you lose all your hair? Then you have like a tattoo. That I already answered my question. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why don't women do that? Like women's hair goes thin, right?
I wear hair extensions because I have no hair.
What if you tattooed under there? Your head.
It would probably make it
like if you did strokes, not a tattoo, but like strokes.
It would fill it in and make it look.
How come that's not a thing?
I don't know.
You do it on your eyebrows. Why wouldn't you do it on your head?
Because there's hair transplants. There's better options that you can do.
Well, I don't know.
You, if you were going bald, and somebody was like, go to Turkey and get a hair transplant, would you do it?
I don't know. Maybe. It depends. I
was talking to someone that I know, and she's in healthcare, and her boss had an accident in, I believe she said it was Italy. and had to have this emergency surgery. And he ended up getting super sick. And when he woke up, someone was beside him smoking a cigarette.
In Turkey?
No, in Italy.
Oh.
And it's just, I guess, I don't know what rules are at different countries, because we were both talking about, never thought about it until you and I traveled on Celebrity Cruise when that man got hurt and broke his leg in half on
he stepped off.
Yes. And then he had to get surgery in Turkey. And I think I would freak out, like being in another country, having to get surgery, because how do you know if the doctor's qualified? How do you know if they're good?
Well, I'm sure they have good doctors in every country. I know what you mean. You're nervous because you're in a different country, but I'm sure it's not like their education level, like, you're okay. You could be a doctor. I'm sure they know what they're doing.
I would never have surgery in Mexico.
I mean, again, I'm sure there's good doctors in Mexico. They have like this thing called, I think it's called MedJet that you could get, as like insurance to whatever, if you're going away for like a month or something. And they take you out, like you get a private jet home. I mean, you're paying, it's an insurance thing. Oh, yeah. But then they fly you back home.
Depending, I mean, there's got to be like what if you were in Australia and you got to get back to the States? There's no way private jet's flying you.
I don't know the ins and outs.
Oh, okay.
It's not an advertisement. I'm just saying, I know there's things that they advertise like that.
Right.
But I don't know if I'd be scared in a big city overseas or wherever I was, Mm-hmm. If I was in Mexico City, I don't know if I would be super terrified.
Yeah.
If I was in the jungle or something, then maybe,
Yeah, that would be freaky. I don't know.
Witch doctor.
Even just in these states, like I haven't got my boobs taken out because I'm scared to be put asleep. The only reason I haven't done it yet is because I'm scared.
Oh.
Or I would have already got my implants taken out.
Our neighbor's an anesthesiologist.
I know, but I don't want to bombard him with questions.
Why not?
Because he's probably like, don't talk to me about work when I've been at work all day. Do you want to talk about work stuff when you're done?
Well, I'd rather you ask me about what I know than about the Bears moving to Gary, Indiana. I'm not sure what's happening there. I'm not involved. I'm not in the boardroom.
Well, I thought you would just know, and because you are obsessed.
I don't think anyone knows. I have some friends. My buddy Joe, who I played football with in college. He's like the security coach he's the head security for the head coach.
Oh, really?
He's like, you see him on TV at all the games.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know, man. It looks like we're moving, but he doesn't know. Nobody knows officially. I hope they don't, but.
Has he ever tried to hook you up with tickets?
He's like, are you going to be in town or whatever? I could try to get you in the locker room and stuff.
Remember how easy it was to get tickets at the Panthers?
I know.
And then the Bears are like, nope.
Yeah, Chicago didn't do anything. Remember I was supposed to throw out the first pitch? I always bring that up at Wrigley Field. With DBL, and then COVID started. Remember you had to come in with the boys and film that whole package? And we were going to go to Wrigley Field and throw out the first pitch?
I do kind of remember that. That was COVID?
Yeah, I think it was 2020 or it must have been 2020. When did COVID start? February?
March. Yeah, February, March. Well, March was when it was like lockdown because that's when we closed on our house.
We had the game and everything that I was going to throw out the first pitch. And then we filmed that package.
How did they sell that?
I don't know if they sold it. They're just like, Jeff's on this show and one of his dreams are to do that. And it was something for like, make a dream or something. Yeah. Like make a dream that we did or something. And yeah, it was locked down. And then all of a sudden COVID and I couldn't do it. Like nobody was at the games. I'm always like, man.
I know, you missed your chance.
I missed my chance. And then I dropped that ball at the Cubs game the other week.
You're never going to live that down.
We were playing baseball. I know I harp on this, but it really affects me.
Oh, they all of a sudden like baseball.
So we were playing baseball in my dad's backyard. What's a better Father's Day than playing like wiffle ball in the yard with your dad and your granddad? That's like Americana and eating some plain chips.
You need a French onion dip.
That is the jam.
That is the jam. Good.
But yes, so they were into baseball and they were getting really into it. But then they're like, every time like it was a wiffle ball, but it had no holes in it, some of the balls. So it'd go up and it was windy and the ball would like be all over and I'd drop it. And they're like, Dad, you dropped it just like you did at the Cubs game. And they were mocking me.
Oh, they're not going to let you live that down. And you bring it up all the time now.
I know,
it still bothers you.
It bothers me.
Lawson was playing that in the basement with your dad, and I almost got hit in the face a couple times.
They were ripping it. They got the hang of it.
Well, both of them. I mean, actually, go to Five Below. Jeff found it's actually a good, normally it's just junk.
Yeah.
That was actually a really good toy. It's just I don't know, you just step on it.
And it pops the ball up
and it pops the ball up, and then you can swing.
So you didn't have to pitch. So the first 2 days we were pitching the whole time, and then they don't throw it back to you. I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like, what's this machine? And then we got little bases from there. Perfect. Five Below, if you have one, just step on it. It pops it up, and then
Five Below today, I had to go and get these squishies. Kids are running in everywhere.
Those things are crazy.
I had to get a pickle and a banana, and they just look like two squishy dicks. That's what it looks like.
Nice.
And I was like, are you kidding me? Lawson's like, yeah, Leighton wants one. I want one. And all the kids are running. And then the, what are they called? Dumplings. So stupid. Whoever invented that is like, I wish I was you. The dumpling was like this big. They were extra, extra large dumplings, and Lawson was so disappointed. They get restocks at 10. We were there at 9:30. I go, Lawson, no one's going to be there. And people were just running in and out. And I was like, oh. And then I'm walking out. I run into my neighbor and her kids. And then my other friend was coming down. It's just it's crazy. But the kids, like Lawson's like, tell me this isn't the best day ever.
Oh, really?
They're obsessed.
Well, at least they're $5.
I don't know how much they were.
But it's cheap.
Yeah.
It's not like they're $50, $100. Like, it's not crazy.
For one, no. They're, I don't know. I think I paid $30, and it was.
For all of them?
It was dumplings, 2 dumplings, a banana and a pickle, and another banana and pickle. And it was like $30.
All right. We'll end it there.
I did. Hang on, wait. I did want to tell you, I laughed today before you end this. I went to Costco with Lawson because I was like, I need to get these big flowers. I hate going to Costco because just the parking lot's crazy and just how crazy it is. Well, I wasn't paying attention. Like Lawson's talking about his squishies he just got, and I'm just talking to Lawson, and I'm walking, and I would just walk past all these people, and I take my card out and I scan it, and I'm like, all right, let's go, Lawson. And this guy stops me and goes, ma'am. And I go, yeah. And I go, hey, I'm here to get these flowers. Where are the big jumbo flowers? And I'm just like talking, and he goes, let me double check, but you got to get in line. He was like, all these people are waiting to get in. And I was like, wait, what? I go, what time is it? What time do you open? He goes, 10 o'clock. I felt like the biggest loser. All these people were just staring at me. And I'm just like, where are these jumbo flowers? And me and Lawson are talking. He's got his big old squishy. And I just totally just ignored everyone. And they were probably like, who does this girl think she is? We've all been waiting for it to Costco to open. And I seriously did. I took my wallet out. I scanned it. I like tapped it to scan it. And I was like starting to walk like in the store. And then the guy.
Oh, I bet there were some people in line that weren't happy.
There's this one lady. I caught her. She was giving me the eye. And then I felt bad. And I go, oh, I'm so sorry. I was not paying attention. I go, I'm so set on getting these flowers. And I go, I will go back there. I apologize. And then he goes, well, it's 9:59. Everybody can just start going in. And then me and Lawson were like the first ones in. I just skipped everybody.
You're a cutter.
Yeah, but I wasn't paying attention.
Must be nice.
Yeah. I was just in my little bubble.
You're the people I hate when I'm driving.
There are people, this guy pulled in a parking spot, but there wasn't anybody in front of his parking spot. So he pulled up, right? Pulled up. And then I backed out. Nobody was behind me. And then he started backing out from the spot he pulled up in, and then backed up to his regular spot, and then kept backing up and almost hit me. And I started yelling. And then Lawson was like, Mom, you need to calm down. You got anger issues. And I was like, no, I don't. And he goes, why are you yelling at that guy? I go, he almost hit the car.
Sons of bitches.
Yeah.
All right.
Read the
Ready?
quote.
Let's get out of here. A Native American grandfather was talking to his grandson about how he felt. He said, I feel as if I have two wolves fighting in my heart. One wolf is the vengeful, angry, violent one. The other wolf is the loving, compassionate one. The grandson asked him, which wolf will win this fight in your heart? And the grandfather answered, the one I feed. I like that. I've heard that quote. Something like that.
Be the wolf. All right.
No, which
so you
wolf
guys,
do you feed?
I'm the good one, not the bad one.
No, it seems like you were feeding an angry wolf today.
Well, I was if somebody almost hit my car, because then I would hear it from you why I have another scratch on the car.
And it sounds like you're a cutter wolf too.
Yeah, I am.
All right.
All right. Bye.